Happy Friday, everyone. We have a fun, long, steady state workout for you guys today. So hope you guys enjoy it. Goal today, keep it steady, keep your breathing going well, and just have fun with it. But before we get to that, let's talk about today in our warm-up. We have a wide stance, good morning for 3 to 5 reps. Side lunge for 6 to 10, alternating a 303 tempo. Side scale raise for 3 to 5 aside. Sumo squat for 3 to 5 at a 313 tempo, and a goblet squat hold for 15 to 30 seconds. 2 to 3 rounds, take that down nice and steady. Just start to feel those legs, get those hips warmed up and those knees warmed up. We'll have a great time with that. After that, we're gonna do some weighted calf raises for 20 seconds. You can do a suitcase, you can do a hold, whatever you want. We're just gonna hit 20 seconds steady on those calves and those ankles. Single leg RDL for 5 to 8 per side. If you want to load these, you can, or unload it, that's fine as well. Curtsy lunge for 6 alternating reps, or 6 to 10, I should say, alternating reps. Back lunge to high knee, 3 to 5 per side, and then a skip / ankle pop for 10 to 20 seconds. Whatever you want there, combo it up, whatever you need. We're going to take that down again to get those ankles ready, get those knees ready for a little bit of impact. 3 rounds, take it down, have some fun, and we'll move into our work set. So our work set today is on the minute for 10 rounds. Woo! 10 rounds. Minute number 1, you're gonna skip. Singles. Today is a singles day. So we're just gonna work on a nice steady skip or a skip equivalent. And we'll talk about that as we get going. Minute number 2, lunge. 14 to 20 alternating. This can be forward or back. These are unloaded lunges. So we're just moving nice and steady. All right? Minute number 3, lateral step over or lateral step up. 14 to 20 reps alternating, nice and steady into that skip, and we're just going to try and keep a good cadence throughout the entire work set where we're not getting too fatigued, but we're also kind of hovering in that range where we're like, whew, I'm glad I don't have to go any harder because I'm staying right in this happy zone, all right? This happy fatigue zone. But it's going to be a cool little work set. Think low to moderate intensity on this bad boy and go the distance and enjoy. Let's get you warmed up, ready for action. All right, let's get our feet under those hips. Let's take the arms up big and tall. We're gonna take it over to one side, little lateral bend. We'll come back up and over, little lateral bend. Come back up, take it all the way down to the floor, touch those toes. We're gonna walk up the shins. We'll come down, frame of foot, step it back into your lizard, planting that inside hand on that front foot. I'm going to turn the torso towards the outside hand, back to center, turn, back to center, and turn, back to center. We're going to lower the back knee, press the hip to center, press the hip to center, and hip back to center. We'll plant the hand, straighten the leg, step back into that down dog. We're going to give those ankles a few little steps. Nice and gentle. Relaxing those feet, walking those ankles out. We're going to come back into our plank and step the other foot up. Locking that front foot down with the inside hand, we'll turn, come back to center, and turn, back to center, and turn, back to center. We'll lower the knee, press the hip, come back to center, press the hip, to center, and press the hip, back to center. Plant the hand, straighten the leg, step back into that down dog, pushing those hips. Walk those heels out, super gentle. Just waking them up for the skip. Nice and smooth, nice and steady. And then from here, we'll come back into our plank. And we'll tiptoe those feet up. We're going to roll ourselves all the way up, big stretch. Good reach. Oh, big reach. Yeah. Come back down. Let's get you ready and fired up. If you'd like though, pause the video, take down a little bit more kind of gentle warm up for yourself. Maybe a little more rotation work if you'd like. Cat cows, stretch out that core from work from yesterday. But if not, come along with me. We're going to talk about that next phase of work. All right, guys, we're going to start off with a wide stance. Good morning. So we're going to touch on those hamstrings and those glutes. So we're going to turn profile. My stance is nice and wide, so toes are slightly turned out, so I can still open my hips fully and stand nice and tall. What I'm going to do is squeeze my glutes at the top, and I'm going to pull my hips hips back at that hip crease. I'm gonna let my knees soften, keeping my center mass over my laces, so right over the midpoint of my foot, and I'm trying to keep my big toes down on the floor the whole time, so I can really fire up those glutes. So pulling the hips back, keeping that chest and back long, that good deadlift back as I work through that range of motion all the way through. Taking it to wherever you can maintain that position and still feel that good hamstring engagement. After our wide stance good morning, we're going to move into the side lunge. So I'm going to stay in profile for you guys. And I'm going to think squat. So I'm going to take my hip to my heel, trying to let that knee track the toe. So I squeeze the glutes, I pull the hip back, my knee tracks the toe, I stay as upright as I can like a squat, and I push through that leg to come back up. I draw the hip back, I stay upright, keeping that foot flat, push through that leg to that nice full extension of the hip. So again, taking it to the range that feels comfortable for you or slightly uncomfortable, but you can still maintain that position. So crucial. So nice tall body, nice flat feet, knee tracking the toe. After, we're going to continue working that side kind of movement with the glute in our side scale raise. So I'm going to pick my favorite foot for the day, plant that foot down to start. I'm going to get my weight on that side, my toe pointed on this side. Hands can go wherever they need to go for balance. And what I'm going to do is try to keep a nice straight line of action from heel, knee, hip, shoulder. And I'm going to lift that leg up and then lower down with control. Staying tight through the glute and through the core, I'm going to lift with control, lower down. And I keep the top of my foot pointed forward towards the camera so that I'm not opening to the side. I'm staying square to the front the entire time. When I go to change sides, I reset, again, straight line of action, and I'm only taking that leg up to where I can take it with control. Both sides may not be created equal, so we need to remember that, and we have to make sure that we're listening to both sides of the body. After our side scale raise, we're going to move into a nice wide stance squat, nice sumo squat. So we're going to give ourselves a chance to continue opening up those hips and those ankles. So my sumo squat is just outside my shoulders, all right, wider than my regular squat stance. But I'm going to push my knees out just a little bit more than I normally would in my air squat to keep those knees out, all right? So I squeeze my glutes, I stay tall, I push those knees out, imagining I have a nice elastic band around them, I'm keeping it tight, and then I push through those legs to stand up tall. So from the side, so you guys can see that position, I squeeze, I pull myself down, my knees track the toes, I stand pushing through those legs, and I open up at the top, that full range. After the sumo, we continue moving into some squats, but we're going to move into the Goblet Squat Hold. So we've just opened up those hips and ankles wide. We're going to bring the feet into our regular squat stance. Dumbbell's going to come up under the chin. Then you take the hips to the heel, knees still track the toes. I'm going to hold this bottom position, super active. So my weight stays through my feet, my midfoot with my big toe down. My knees are still pressing slightly out, my chest is up. I'm going to hold this for 15 to 30 seconds. And I'm going to come out of it like a normal squat. So that's the hardest part of the whole process. So that's really important. We need to stay engaged the whole time down here. We can't turn everything off and then expect to pull it back in and stand up well. We need to stay engaged in the bottom the whole time so that we can come out of that squat well, hips and shoulders rising at the same time. So don't worry about pushing to the 30-second end range. Give yourself the dose that allows you to challenge the squat hold, but still maintain position in and coming in. Quick little recap for you guys. We have a wide stance good morning, 3 to 5 reps. Side lunge for 6 to 10, alternating at a 3:03 tempo. Side scale raise, 3 to 5 a side. Sumo squat, 3 to 5, 3-1-3 tempo. And a goblet squat hold for 15 to 30 seconds. 2 to 3 rounds. Take that down, tackle that, pause the video, get yourself ready, and then come join me for our next phase, which is gonna work on a little bit more dynamic lunging. Next phase of work we're gonna kickstart off with some calf lunge. So I'm gonna pick up my dumbbell, and I can hold this a few different places. I can hold it to the front with my feet under my hips and my toes straight ahead, or I can hold it to the side in the suitcase. I can even front rack it or goblet it if you'd like. whatever's gonna give you the most balance. What we're gonna do though, is we're gonna squeeze our glutes, pull that rib in, so we're nice and stable through here, and we're gonna try and stay balanced through the big toe and the pinky toe. And we're just gonna work for 20 seconds, lifting up onto that nice calf raise to fire up the ankles, the feet, and the calves. So again, most people, when we're doing this, we don't necessarily have to worry about our pinky toe, because most people, when they do this, they're gonna roll out. We wanna try and stay square. So maybe bring your awareness to your big toe a little bit more. Think about that big toe, and that should meet in the middle as you're trying to stay balanced between those two. After the calf raises for 20 seconds, we're gonna move into the single leg RDL, and you can load that or not. But I'm gonna turn to the side so you guys can see. The foot is gonna be underneath the body, the other toe is gonna be planted like a kickstand, just sort of there for balance purposes. My hips will stay square, I'll squeeze, holding onto the imaginary dumbbell and the shoulders pulled back. I'm gonna pull the hips back, weight staying through that midfoot. My hands will come to my knee as I feel that hamstring say hello, and then I'm gonna squeeze and stand tall together. Now as I pull back, I wanna think about that good morning, so I'm pulling back at the hip crease, not hinging at the waist. So I'm breaking here at the hip crease to make that nice, solid body position hinge. Now if I'm gonna load this, I can load it in 3 different places. I can load it to the front, so I'm staying tall, taking that dumbbell to just below the knee. I can load it on the same side as the kickstand leg, still just taking it to below the knee. Or I can load it on the side of the balancing leg. The only thing about this one is we have to really focus on staying square in our body so that we don't get pulled over with that dumbbell on the same side as the balancing leg. Neither one of those positions is better or worse than the other. They're just a little bit different. They load the body a little bit different. So I want you guys to experiment with them over time. The first one is probably the easiest in terms of balance, all right? So that's a good place to start, and then start playing from there as we experiment. After our RDLs for 5 to 8 aside, we have a curtsy lunge. So the curtsy lunge is that nice angled lunge. So we're gonna stand in our squat stance. I'm gonna take my right leg and I'm gonna step back on a 45. And my body's kind of on this angle, but my foot and knee are still facing forward. So on that step, I'm going to step and lower into that good lunge, keeping my body upright and keeping my knee stacked under my hip. To the other side, little 45 and lower, and stand. So like all lunges, I want you guys to listen to your body and only go as deep as you feel comfortable. So if you don't feel comfortable going all the way to the floor, don't go all the way to the floor. Work on the step, take it down as deep as you feel comfortable, and then come back up with good position. So take those slow. We have 6 to 10 alternating reps, working on that good angular step, but that same lower as you'd have if you were doing a lunge. Our next variation of lunge is a back lunge to high knee. So we're gonna work on that high knee kind of balance again. So I'm gonna stand profile for the camera. My feet are under my hips or just outside my shoulders, kind of a squat stance so I have balance. I'm going to step back, lower down, and now as I stand up, I'm gonna come through into my high knee. And I'll put the foot down if I need to, or I can step right back into that lunge. So I step lower, stand, high knee. I can come back, step lower, stand, high knee. Working on that good lunge, working on my balance. So it's up to you if you want to link the reps, or if you want to do your rep, stand tall, take the high knee, put the foot down and reset, you're more than welcome to. Whatever's going to give you the most balance and the best position to practice that lunge. We're just taking it up a notch a little bit, adding in that little high knee to get that quad involved and to work that balance just a little bit extra. From there, we have our skip or ankle pop. So we're gonna work on that little bit of rebound. So if you have space to skip, be my guest, you can skip, or you can combo up the ankle pop and the skip together. But the ankle pop, we have our feet underneath of our hips, nice and tall, elbows are gonna be in, we're gonna pretend like we're holding the skipping rope. Core tight, glutes tight, shoulders relaxed. We're gonna let those feet do what they do naturally, let those ankles and knees absorb and rebound in that nice little hop. So a couple other things you can play with. You can also add in a little bit of our power jumps. We can work on double under time. So maybe every third jump, we work a little higher, jump, and as soon as I jump, I want to flick my wrist to simulate my rope spinning a little extra. So the timing factor is crucial. As soon as I jump, my hands have to go. Feet and hands together, same time. And that'll help teach you the timing of that double under of when we have to get those wrists moving. I'll also have a different variation for other options for skipping. So check the workout description. Whatever you plan on doing for the skip, you place it there in the work set. As a quick recap, we have a weighted calf raise for 20 seconds, single leg RDL, 5 to 8 per side, curtsy lunge, 6 to 10 alternating, back lunge to high knee, 3 to 5 a side, skip / ankle pop for 10 to 20 seconds, 3 rounds of work, get yourself warmed up and ready, and then we're going to tackle this work set. Pause the video, take it down, come join me for the work set. We're going to talk and break it down. All right, so we have 3 movements in our work set today. Our workout is an on the minute for 10 rounds. Minute number 1, we skip. We're going to work singles today. So if you're skipping, it's not a double under day, it's a single day. It's a nice chance just to kind of get a good flow and get used to feeling that rope and working the skill of singles. If you're not skipping due to space or no access to a rope, I will have other options for you on the bottom of the workout description. So check that out, rock it. We're looking at a moderate to low intensity effort for the minute. Once the minute is done, we're going to go into minute 2, and you're going to do 14 to 20 unloaded lunges. And you're going to do a forward or back lunge. So you can work on whatever you like to. So we did the back lunge in our warm-up. So we're just stepping back, lowering the knee down, and standing tall. And then alternating back and forth, total count of 14 to 20. Or you can work on the front lunge. So we're going to step forward, lowering down, keeping that front knee stacked over the heel and keeping our torso stacked over top of the knee. Only taking it as deep as you feel comfortable, and you can experiment with that and take it whatever pace you like. I'll also have some other options for that lunge if you'd like to explore some different options instead of lunging. Once you're done 14 to 20, you can rest with whatever time you have, and you're going to transition to the next phase, which is a lateral step over or lateral step for 14 to 20 reps. So the lateral step, if you have an apparatus that will allow you to step safely and securely, make sure it's stable, is this. We put our foot up on the box or the stool, we're going to push through and switch over and just step over. We can leave that foot up just to kind of maintain that good knee alignment, and it also cuts down the chances that we're going to trip on the box. So I'm a big fan of leaving that leg up and working on that nice lateral step over. The other option we can play with is the lateral step up. So we start sideways, we step, we stand, we lower. We step, we stand, we lower. And you're just going to half the reps on one side, then switch sides, half the reps on the other side. And that's going to give you a really good opportunity to work on just that good lateral step and that control down. So if you want to do that and not worry about going back and forth, that is a great option for your lateral step over. Now if you don't have a box, I'll have some other options for you on the workout description, so check those out. Make sure you're comfortable with what you got going on, and please, 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 only use an apparatus that is stable and sturdy to do those step overs or step ups. Now this workout is meant to be a low to moderate intensity. It's longer, but we shouldn't be sprinting these rounds in. I want you guys to really pick a rep scheme that allows you to move smoothly and steadily, but not overly tax you too much. It's meant to be challenging in terms of duration, but it should be a continual flow from exercise to exercise. So have fun with this one, you guys. Embrace this lower to moderate intensity work set. It's going to be a fun time, and I hope you guys enjoy it. As always, work for quality, have tons of fun, and I hope this leads you into the weekend the right way. Bye everyone, we'll see you very soon.